In this extreme weather outlook, I'll cover ex-tropical cyclone Penny and the risk of flooding through northern Queensland. Storm outbreak continues for New South Wales, plus another severe heat wave will develop over southern Australia over the next week. Let's start with Penny though in the north. It made landfall roughly 5 p.m. on Wednesday near the town of Bowen, which is just north of Airlie Beach. Now the main feature from this weather system has been the rainfall. We haven't seen damaging winds because it's below cyclone strength. So it did make landfall late Wednesday, but heavy rain and flash flooding will continue through northern Queensland for the next couple of days, and a flood watch is in place. That's for river flooding between Proserpine and Cape Tribulation. Here's the forecast rain. Heaviest rain on Thursday around the central coast and the lower Burdekin districts, including Townsville. Isolated totals over 100 millimetres are likely. The heaviest rain on Friday, you can see, contracts up to the northern tropics of Queensland, the north tropical coast, the peninsula, including Cairns, and the rain will ease back through the central parts of the state. Now we're likely to see some very heavy falls. For example, just west of Mackay, over the past 24 hours, we've seen well over 100 millimetres of rain. Similar totals continuing for Thursday and Friday. Over the weekend, the heaviest rain moves to the west across the top end, with the remnants of ex-cyclone Penny moving in that direction. So finally some good rain for Darwin. Over the next week, over 100 millimetres, that darker green for the top end coast. Similar totals for the tropical Queensland coast. But in reality, from these weather systems, you often find there's isolated falls much higher, more like 200 millimetres of rain. And some areas completely miss out. It all depends on whether or not storms are directly over your paddock or home. You can see through the western parts of Queensland, they're not expecting rain, and the rain's already eased back through the Capricornia and the Wide Bay districts. Let's go to New South Wales. Huge storm outbreak this week. We had further severe storms on Wednesday afternoon. The heaviest rain was through the Western Hunter, actually, where we saw up to about 30 millimetres of rain. But most of the storms on Wednesday were not severe. It'll be a similar story on Thursday, but we're expecting further widespread severe storms on Friday. This event started back on Monday. By the weekend, it should ease back. Severe storms every afternoon, and they'll be concentrated along the ranges. So here's the forecast rain then. You can see the heaviest falls indicated by the darkest green. For Thursday afternoon, will be around the central ranges. And that's the location where most of the storms have been actually through this week. But on Friday, widespread storms through southern New South Wales, the central part of the state, and up along a trough towards the northwest of the state. We are expecting storms to be fairly widespread on Friday and severe. There's the risk of damaging winds, hail, and also flash flooding. Localised totals up to 50 millimetres are possible, especially along the ranges. The storms will generally weaken as they head towards the coast, but we certainly can't rule out storms along the coast over the next couple of days. By Saturday, most of the storms will have dissipated. You can see on Friday night, looking at the forecast rain, it all disappears. Now on Saturday and Sunday afternoon, the odd storm will develop along the ranges, but only very isolated activity continuing through the weekend. It'll be all about the heat by the weekend. Temperatures over 40 by Friday already. That was that darker red through the southern interior. More of the same for Saturday. There will be a cool change along the southern coastline coming through over the weekend. That will bring some relief to Adelaide and Melbourne, but north of the Victorian ranges, there will be no cool change. So the heat wave will intensify. Sunday afternoon, temperatures are over 40. That's that darker red right across central and southern interior Australia. Looking at Monday's temperatures, again over 40, but drifting south again, that very hot air. And the darkest red shows temperatures over 45 degrees. And then finally on Tuesday, again, very hot conditions, temperatures around 45 degrees for much of the southern interior. Now at this early stage, looks like perhaps around the middle of next week there'll be another cool change, but only for the southern coastline. For these inland areas, we're expecting this heat wave to last for at least a week.